Firstly, I'd like to start by saying I'm in no way homophobic. I respect everyone's choices, and I still don't understand why people have such a problem with others being gay. When I was about 18, I used to work in a small factory for an engineering firm as an apprentice, and had to work with this real piece of shit guy. Let's call him Kevin. For some reason Kevin would find great joy by picking on me all the time in work. He would wait until it was just me and him alone, and then call me out for being gay. Note, I'm not gay, and had a girlfriend at the time. However, that didn't matter to him. He would stroll right over to my desk and call me all these awful names like faggot, homo, cocksucker, etc plus other words/names that are too disgusting to say. He would get right in my face and try his best to get a response from me, but I would just keep my head down and keep working. Even though I ignored him, he made me feel really crap. I began hating going into work. I started coming up with excuses for not coming in. I did this so often that ours had to have a meeting with me, and I was given an official warning. I was a shy small guy and didn't have the confidence to say anything. This kept on going for months, and one day he went too far. I was working on a design for a product from my work laptop and left the factory for lunch. When I got back, he had deleted all my work files and replaced them with screenshots of gay porn. The second I sat back down on my desk and noticed, Kevin ran up behind me and called everyone over to show them what I was supposedly looking at on my laptop. He pulled my arms back behind my chair, holding me in place, and everyone came over and started laughing at me. My boss even came over. My idiot boss believed Kevin, and I was given a warning letter about my work behavior and another official warning. I had enough and plotted my revenge. The idea I came up with was to send Kevin a package and have him open in front of everyone. You see, Kevin collected rare DVDs and would have them shipped to the company's address. He would then gather everyone around his desk to show them what he had bought, no matter what the package. So, I told my mother my plan. She knew what Kevin had done to me at this point, and she was in. I went online and ordered some extremely embarrassing stuff. I had them sent to my mother. She lived on the other side of the country, and she would send them to my workplace in Kevin's name. I did this so the package would be stamped in a different city, making it look like it was ordered somewhere else. Anyway, the day came when the package arrived. Kevin announced for everyone to come over to see his new DVD. Everyone came over and watched as Kevin opened the box. I stood at the back as I knew what was coming. Kevin stuck his hand in the box and pulled out a huge pink mankini, the one Borat wore, and a ball gag. Kevin's face went sheet white. Then everyone burst out laughing. The whole staff were bent over in laughter, some dropping to the floor crying in laughter. The staff started saying stuff like, "Is that for your weekend, Kevin? And is that for your other collection?" I was laughing so much that I couldn't breathe. Kevin ran out the room and we all descended on the box. Besides the mankini and ball gag, there was a note. Now this was the cherry on top, all thanks to my mother. One of the office staff took out the note and read it out loud. This is what it said. "Hello Kivapoo 69. Because you are one of our most loyal customers, we have decided to send you some free gifts to thank you for your years of loyalty to our brand. We hope you enjoy them. All the best from the team at outoftheclosetea.com." Well, this just sent us all tumbling to the floor with laughter. I had no idea my mother would do that. Just typing it out now makes me laugh. After we all regained our composure, the head of ours came down and asked me to come up for a meeting. I entered one of the meeting rooms and there was Kevin, the head of ours, my boss and the director of the company. For the next hour Kevin tried to convince them that I had sent him the package. I protested, saying the package was stamped on the other side of the country, so how could I have sent it? The head of ours asked Kevin why he thought I sent the package. He said, "Because I always call him a," then he stopped his sentence. I turned to him and said, "Yeah, tell them what you always call me. Tell them the names you like to call me every day. Tell them how you single me out and bully me. Tell them about the hell you have put me through." The room got quiet. Kevin was told to leave while they have a chat with me. I proceeded to tell them about what Kevin was doing to me and how long it had gone on for. I told them about the names he called me and what he had done with my laptop. When I was finished, they all thanked me for being honest and said they would investigate my claims further. I was asked one more time if I had sent the package. I said I didn't, and that it may have been a mate of mine, because I had told my friends what had been going on. But it had nothing to do with me, and I had no say in it. So, an investigation did happen. They found out that Kevin was indeed bullying me and other younger staff members and apprentices in the firm. He had been doing this since the day he started working there. He was fired. Good. I don't feel any regret for what I did. He was a 50-year-old man that still acted as a child. If he can't grow up, then he can't work with adults. Years later, on my last day of work, I was asked by the director of the company if I had indeed sent that package to Kevin. I just smiled, winked and said nope, but my mother didn't like Kevin very much. I can now say I'm a confident, happy extrovert. I don't stand for any bullying behavior anymore and always stick up for myself and the people around me. As for Kevin, well, I hope he has improved his attitude and has grown up. So basically, I hired a contractor. He stole $18,000 from me. Tried going to court, but got screwed because his business isn't a legal one and his name isn't attached to it. So he got off scot-free. I was furious because it was all my savings. So I started hunting the internet for revenge ideas, and I found one. I drafted up official looking letters that didn't actually say they were from the government. Wasn't about to fuck around with government fraud. Posters. Basically as much paper as I could get my hands on. I took a photo of him and chopped it to look like a mugshot. And on all these papers, I put the photo and a warning that this man was a child molester and on a sex offender registry. Then I sent the letters to his entire neighborhood. I put the posters up. I plastered this guy's face as a child molester everywhere I could. I had multiple ways I made sure it couldn't trace to me. Everyone believed it. People don't double check things, let alone when they think kids are in danger. His entire neighborhood rallied against him. He stopped getting jobs. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. They took the warning, looked at this big closed off guy, and ran with it. He would up committing suicide months later. Couldn't handle it. I know I'm not a good guy in this, and I went a bit too far. I'm still glad I did it. Philadelphia authorities say a man who stole a car with 3 young children inside was fatally beaten by their father and other men. Philadelphia police say the car was parked at a pizza restaurant with its engine running when the man drove off around 9:15 p.m. Thursday. The children's mother was inside the restaurant, talking with the father of 2 of the kids. The vehicle soon got stuck in traffic, and authorities say the couple pulled the 54-year-old man out of the vehicle. The man ran off, but was caught by the father. A fight ensued, with other men joining in. The man was knocked unconscious and taken to a hospital, where he died. No charges have been filed. The children, who range in age from 7 months to 5 years, were unhurt. Not my story, but a very close friend of mine who told me this. He was sexually abused by his stepfather ever since he was 6 and was violated around his 8th year. His biological father died of a work-related accident and his mother married this stepfather that she knew from her hometown a few years after. That fatherly figure soon turned out to be an abusive monster that was oh so eager to put his hands on anything that moves. His mother didn't know of the sexual abuse that he was going through because the son was threatened by death of his mother and him if he says anything. He was in an ever worse situation. After getting bullied and abused, he was completely suicidal. He was debating on just jumping in front of a semi and end it all multiple times, but his mother was the only reason he didn't want to do it and kept pushing on through it all. He started slowly making a few friends that helped him cope a little. On his 10th he was violently molested and was left limping after his father went all out on him. He was forced to go to school a day after and was limping from the pain, unable to sit at all, unable to move, but he endured it and shrugged it off as an accident so that no one finds out what happens. He saw what the man can do. He doesn't want his mother hurt or worse because he told on this monster. Even the bullies stopped making fun of him after seeing that he didn't care anymore about what they did to him, more uninterested in bullying an inanimate object than pity. A few older senior students who were a mix of 16 and 18-year-old caught up to what happened and pulled him aside one day to ask what happened. They all sat down and talked. Although they knew what was happening, they merely asked to confirm what's going on. My friend who told them to not spread it as it means life and death to him, and especially his mother, let out all the information out of pure fear. From about 5 or 6 behemoths towering around him, and years of abuse killing his self-esteem. The seniors were not amused, not one bit. They were all hellbent on making this man regret his life choices, and make him regret it they did. They stalked him, cornered him, and afterwards went completely berserk on him, sodomized him with a multitude of tools, carved child rapist on his back, beat the bejesus out of his testicles to the point where he was quite literally peeing blood, and continued beating him up in the process and afterwards just to really nail the point in. They didn't want him to die, they wanted him to live and suffer from it. He was rushed to the hospital with both his arms broken on multiple points, eye socket collapsed, and eye heavily damaged with no chance of repair. Both his testicles were ruptured and are damaged beyond salvation. His anus was ripped to the size of a 22cm ball, and he lost about 70% of his teeth. There was more, but it will take this whole post just to list all the damage dealt. They caught him at the brink of death from all the bleeding, and managed to keep him alive somehow. The next day they told his mom of what happened, and what he did to him. She wasn't just filing for divorce, she took everything he ever owned, all the money he made, and afterwards had him put behind bars, with a little birdie that told every inmate inside of what he did. Last he heard of him was that he was being used quite literally as the prison soap dispenser while in the pen. He didn't die, but he was left with a gait that would make even hot Kinky Joe jealous, roaming the streets, shunned by everyone, and they still regularly tell people of who he is and what he did to publicly shame him for what he did, losing him any job possible and barred from many establishments, and was regularly stoned, hissed at and yelled at to go away like a stray dog. There was no mercy for him. 5 years of child abuse, a lifetime of hell on earth. My friend now is 26 years old, works in a decent place where he is beyond respected, his mother living with him, still single sadly, but he is now living a better life than what he had when he was a kid. He left the country where all of this happened with his mother and started working and studying, and now lives a more or less easier life, working as a vice principal in the nursery I work in despite his history. If you enjoyed the stories, slap the like and subscribe button for more of them, and don't forget to support the original writers with an upvote. Links are in the description. Peace out, and catch you tomorrow.